Someone asked me the question why I like working with board members. And it threw me for a moment because they were serious. They wanted me to answer that question. And so I had to take a moment and I had to think about it. Why do I like working with board members? Well, I like working with board members because they said yes. They said yes to a position where they knew that they were not going to be paid. They said yes to volunteering. They said yes to helping with the mission. They said yes to giving up time with their family. They said yes to maybe giving up personal time. So if you break that down, they are good people at heart who said yes. So once they said yes, it gets a little murky. And does it get murky because they were not providing any training? And so they come in with these preconceptions about what it means to serve on a board. And if they come in with those preconceptions about what it means to serve on a board, and we don't, as the leaders in the organization, whether it's the board chair or the CEO, does not dismantle those beliefs, then we often get stuck with certain bad qualities that we don't necessarily need. So let's talk about what the perceptions are when they serve on let's stick with the nonprofit board or any board really. So here's the perceptions. One is they think that they have the ability to tell the CEO who to hire. They think they have the ability to be a part of those interview processes. They think they have the ability to come in and manage sometimes the day to day operations. They think that it's a nonprofit and a nonprofit can't make money. They think that, oh, we don't have to fundraise because all nonprofits are funded through grants or through the government. They think that this is not a business, and so they can check their business hat at the door. They think that nonprofits, because they're not a business, should not have to invest in marketing or innovation, and that their CEO should not be paid a competitive wage. So these are all the perceptions out there. So what happens when you, as the CEO of an organization, do not dismantle those perceptions? That's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who have that mindset. You're dealing with people who said yes, who are generous with their time, but they also are not educated to know what it means to serve on a board, but they said yes and they want to be good at it. So they come in and operate from those misperceptions. So, what can we do to control those misperceptions and to get the board members that we want? Well, again, I'm going to say this to my CEOs that are out there. It starts with you. You have to be professional enough to do a board recruitment process, do board interviews, select the people that you want. Once they say yes, you have to provide board education because you are fighting a misconception from the entire industry. There's so many people that I talk to that are smart people, but they don't work in the nonprofit industry. So they legitimately believe that a nonprofit is funded by grants or funded by government, or they legitimately believe that it is not a business and that it cannot make money. They legitimately believe these things. And so you have to dismantle that and you have to educate them. You have to educate them sometimes on the basics, right? Or what we consider the basics because we work in this industry. So, what are their roles and responsibilities? What does it mean to have to share your time, your talent, your treasure? What is the CEO responsible for and what is the board responsible for? What is a nonprofit? What is board composition? What is the business of the board? There's so many levels of training that board members need so that you can create the winning team that you deserve. And when you don't have that mindset of, I need to create a winning team, so they come to you with these raw talents. So think about it. I am not a sports person, and I shared this before. Not a sports person, but I know that if you're in the NFL, the whole goal is to go to the Super Bowl and win the championship. If you're in the NBA, that's the whole goal is to win a championship. If you play soccer, the whole goal is to go to the World Cup and win a championship. So that same mindset, your whole goal is to create this winning board that everybody in your community is jealous of. Like they're going to say, that's the gold star for serving on the board. And when they have a seat, I want to be on that board because they know what they're doing over there. That's your goal. That should be your North Star, your vision. What am I trying to create? I'm trying to create a winning team. So, your winning team members, they may come to you with that raw talent of, you know what? They work in this company, they're a great marketer, they're here to help me on this board for marketing, or whatever reason why you recruited them on the board. But it is up to you as the CEO, put on that coach's hat, and board chair, put on that hat to say, okay, I have to mold the talent. I have to shape the talent. I have to invest in the talent of this person who said yes to serving on this board. I have to share with them that it is okay to leave your business hat on when you come into this boardroom. I have to share with them that it is the role of the board to fundraise. And what does that mean? I have to share with them that we have a very capable CEO who can hire their staff and manage the day to day operations of this organization. Our job is to be strategic and to think about the future of the organization and be able to sustain the current operations. So that is sometimes where I feel like we drop the ball. We get these very capable people that are capable in their own rights, and then they get on our board and we allow them sometimes. We allow them to be, my friend Misty says she calls them letterhead loafers. We allow them to be that. Some, I've worked on some boards where uh, they're just allowed to be a bully, right? And no one says anything. The board chair doesn't say anything. They don't say, "Hey, that's not how we operate here. This is the best. This is how we operate. The CEO does this, and we do this." So when you start stepping over there, you're crossing into realms that is not yours and not ours. We hired a very capable CEO, let them do their job. So everybody plays a role, right? And it is our job to make sure that these people who said yes, which I am always going to extend that grace and say they said yes because they wanted to help. They said yes because something in your mission resonated with them. Or they said yes, depends on, because they know that, yeah, some of them are trying to build their resumes. But if you go through a recruitment process and you ask the right questions, you have them go through the whole process, you won't get a lot of those resume builders because they'll be like, ooh, there's accountability over here. I need to go over here to this other organization that don't got all that going on. So you're going to automatically repel those people, as well as like letterhead loafers. You're going to repel those people with the correct recruitment process. But once you have that recruitment process in place, they said yes, then we have to extend them grace, and we have to have a education plan for each of those individual board members and for the board members as a collective. So for your board chairs, of course, that education process has to be a little bit more intense. No one should be able to come on your board and in the first 6 months become the board chair. That is not intense. That is not elevating that position to what it needs to be. Unless you're in some type of crisis, in which I get. But there is a such thing as succession, right? And so I would share this for my organization. We had a clear succession. So we had board chair, we had first vice president, second vice president, third vice president, secretary, and treasurer. And they moved up. And that worked for us as far as succession. So we knew who was moving up, right? And they knew what they had to do. We had requirements. If you were the first vice president, then you had to go to this training and you had to do these things because that was prepping you for the next level. So if you were third VP, you were in charge of programs. So you got that program experience. Second VP was board recruitment and board governance. First VP was resource development chair. So it started to make sense. As they moved up, they got program experience, they got governance experience, they got fundraising, more in-depth fundraising experience, and then they moved up to board chair. So if the succession worked, and that always didn't work because life happens, life be lifing. But in the proper scenario, if it worked, they got all that experience before they even rose to board chair. And not only that, we said you have to attend these trainings, you have to do these things, you have to, you know, there's a process to this. You just can't walk into our boardroom and become a board chair. And when they said yes to that, it was our obligation to make sure that they could be the best player in the position that they were assigned on our team so we can get to the championship. And the championship in this industry is serving more clients, being more efficient and impactful for the community. So everybody wants to get to that championship. Everybody, and it's it's fundraising, it's having enough and some surplus. Yes, I talk about surplus. You want a cash reserve. And not only do you want a cash reserve, you want an endowment as well. So that's what the championship looks like. And so as you are filling your slots on your board, think about that these people are good at heart because they said yes. They said yes to sharing their time. They said yes to sharing their talent. They said yes. I'm going to say this to sharing their treasure. If you did proper and talk to them about the fundraising during the recruitment process. So let's extend that grace. And also, that is why I love working with the people who said yes, because they have a good heart. They said yes. Now it's my job to make sure that they're educated, right? And a lot of times we don't do that part, but they do need that education. So if you're interested in education part, just comment board and I will share a couple of things that I'm doing. May the 1st through the 3rd, I'm doing a challenge on board recruitment. And then May the 8th in my local community, I am doing a Be a Better Board Member workshop. So if you comment board and you want to know about any of those things, and I do go into boardrooms and I do training. So just comment board and I'll let you know all the ways that we can work together around your board. But yes, that is why I love working with boards. I hope this helps someone. And I want to end with this as I always do. Your mission matters and deserves to be funded to its fullest potential. You have a blessed day. Bye bye.